Welcome back, everyone. So now we're going to talk about the Warlock, the most different casting class than any other in the game, since everything about them works differently. And it's all because of how they got their magic. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we delve into the Warlock. So, you might be asking, why would you want to be a Warlock? Well, their differences in how they're different in spellcasting is what makes them unique and makes them strong. The first thing is they don't get spell slots in the normal convention that the rest of the classes do, where you get so many first level, so many second level, and so on as you level up. Warlocks only have a limited number of spell slots, but they always cast their spells at the highest level of spell slot that they can cast at. And whenever they take a short rest, they get all their spell slots back. So, if the what we've heard about the possibility that you get a short rest after every combat is true, that'll make the Warlock one of the best classes in the game. So, let's take a look at what the Warlock gives you. Now, you have to make choices between an otherworldly patron and you're going to get to pick a pact at their level. And these choices here are going to affect a lot of your stuff, especially what choices you have available to you for your Eldritch invocations. Between these three things, they're going to make up what makes your Warlock special. You're then going to get an ability score improvement at 4th and 8th, and we'll talk about those more in a second. So, you're getting 8 hit points, which is a lot for an arcane caster, as well as an average of 5, plus you're still getting your con modifier. You're getting light armor, which is unusual for an arcane caster. Usually arcane casters don't get any armor at all. And you've got simple weapons, but you're not going to be doing a lot with weapons. You get wisdom and charisma, as well as any 2 skills of your choice. So good saving throws to have, good choices for skills. The light crossbow that you can get, or the simple weapons, once again, you're not going to be very weapon focused. There is a build that lets you focus weapons, but it's really just how do you want to play it. You can get the component pouch or an arcane focus. Both do pretty much the same thing. It's just kind of how you want to role play your character. But starting with the leather armor is nice. It's going to give you that slightly higher AC. Now, we'll come back to patrons, but your pack magic here is talking about where I was saying how your spell slots work. Important thing to know here is that you're going to be casting based off of charisma. Now your invocations, I'm not going to go into these, but there is a lot of them. And they do stuff as simple as modifying the Eldritch Blast cantrip, which we'll talk about later, giving you spells that you can cast once or unlimited times, or even just simple benefits. For example, let's find a good one. Where's something that helps every single one? Tomb of Leviticus. Here we go. This is a good one. Can't take it till 5th level, but you can entomb yourself in ice to give yourself temporary hit points right before you would take damage. And that right there can stop you from taking a very heavy hit. So now, at 3rd, you're picking a pact. Some of your invocations require you to have a certain pact. Pact of the Blade is going to be your weapon-focused one. Pact of the Chain gives you a familiar, and they're making familiars a lot stronger in this game. So this one could have a lot of fun stuff that you could do with it going into the game. And Pact of the Tome is going to be your spellcasting focus. They get extra cantrips as well. There's an invocation that gives them a ritual book. So this one has a lot of potential here as well. Now your ability score improvements, as I talked about before, as you level, this is how you improve your character. This is how you get better spell casting, more health, what not. these up your ability scores. And they give us access to feats when we get to start taking those. So that's going to be really fun. So let's look at the 2 patrons that I think are likely for us to see in early access. We have the Archfey. Now, one thing that you're going to see is all of them giving us expanded spell list. Now, unlike the Cleric, these aren't spells that we automatically know. These are just more spells that we can learn that normally a Warlock couldn't learn. And the Archfey is all about using charmed, frightened conditions, as well as being deceptive and turning invisible and whatnot to your advantage. And that is what Fey Presence and Beguiling Defense do. And then Misty's Escape teleports you away and you become invisible. So these are all really good, strong effects. The Fiend is the other one I expect us to see. And it's going to be very fire-based, as you can see with getting Burning Hand, Scorching Ray, Fireball. And this is going to be your strong offensive option. Dark One's Blessing gives you hit points when you kill creatures in the form of temporary hit points. Dark One's Own Lunk lets you possibly turn a failure into a success by getting to roll an extra d10 and adding it onto the roll. And Fiendish Resilience lets you get resistance to something that you can change up as time goes by. So let's go ahead and look at some of your iconic spells. You've got Eldritch Blast, which is your go-to cantrip. It does force damage, which is really nice, and as you level up, you get to start shooting more of them. So this is one of the spells that the Warlock is known for. And like I said, a lot of your invocations modifies this spell to make it better. Hellish Rebuke lets you return damage that you took back in kind by making whoever damaged you make a dex save and then take fire damage with how much they take based on whether they passed or failed the save. So, very much a strong one. And here's one of those things where, how I was talking about with the Warlock, as you increase in level, all your spell slots always cast at the highest spell level that you can cast them. So this does even more damage as you level up. Hex is one of your go-to spells. They let all your attacks do more damage. It doesn't matter if it's a spell, a weapon. If it does a to-hit roll, it's going to be doing extra damage. And the upcast benefits of this is it makes the spell last longer. It already lasts an hour. But when you get to your ultimate part of having 5th level spell slots, it's a full 24 hours off of a single cast. You can make a lot of good use out of that. And then looking at one of our second levels, we got Shatter. This is one of the first good AoEs you get available to you, and it can destroy things. So using this could actually affect the scenery, something that Larian loves to do. So destroying walls and things of that nature, the spell will be amazing for that. And it as well gets a nice increase in damage every time you get a higher level spell slot. So, that's it for the Warlock. Hope you enjoyed. Can't wait to see you in the game. We'll be back later with the Wizard.